Alrighty boys, if you clicked on this video, you probably are struggling on Sahimochi-No-Kami, or as I like to call him, Mr. Shark, because you don't have the brand new premium AOE DPS. Well, have no fear, you can clear it with a single target like A0R0 Yuki. And without further ado, let's get straight into the guide. Ikaze. Alrighty fellas, let's go ahead and show you the team's rev cards and mindscapes, starting off with best boy Makoto Yuki. So at Yuki, Dorkun, you're going to want to be running Hope and Ruin. Mine's is A0R0. Here is his mindscape. I recommend you try to get his stuff as close as you can to mine 5. If you want to know what mines look like, here's a good comparison for yours. Next is going to be our main strategist, being BF Minami. She's going to be running Trust Prosperity. Here is her mindscape. Basically mine 5. And now our secondary strategist slash, well, it's a guardian, let's be real. The twins, we're going to be running Creation Reconciliation with them. If you need help capping out on defense reduction, I recommend you run Departure and Control if you can. See here, I have twins Departure Control as a preset. If it helps you do more damage from capping out on shreds, then yeah, just run Departure and Control. Because, gonna be real, Negativity and Power is such a fraudulent set. You're better off capping out on damage or defense shreds over just having the Negativity and Power effects. Next is their mindscape, basically mine 5. And now let's go ahead and talk about our main navigator, Migu Dayo. She's gonna be running Hope and Labor. Here is her mindscape, mine 5. And now let's go ahead and talk about Wonder himself. So for the Wonder Dagger, you have a couple of options. If you need help on capping shreds, R6 Arc Knife is your best friend. If you are capped, the best dagger will be R6 Purgatory, which I will be running for today's guide. Now, if you don't have either of those, you can just run something like an R6 Ex Machina with a starter line fire persona like Sao Gongen. And now on to the Wonder Personas itself, starting with Sao Gongen. Sao Gongen, we're going to be using Exercising Flames, and we're also going to be using Rakunda as well to help us cap out on our defense reduction. Next is going to be Sandalphon. Sandalphon's going to be very important in this fight to keep you alive, because his highlights can proc shields. He can also proc shields and give you defense with his Devoted Guard skill. And if you target a certain character, then that character will get the damage amp from Devoted Guard. So very good persona. Please bring him. If you don't have him, just bring Norn, who's also a pretty good substitute. Next is going to be a weird out of left field pick, being Alice. So, Mr. Gold, why are we bringing Alice in a fight that doesn't have any, like, you know, curse enemies? Well, I'll explain. So the thing is, all we're going to be using is her main gimmick, Die For Me. Why? Because, guess what? The ads are insta-killable. Now, they're not insta-killable at, like, high HP, but at low HP values, they tend to die very quickly. Like, they could have something like half their HP, and you proc Die For Me, and they'll just get insta-killed. This character is kind of a sleeper, and it's kind of funny that I found out that the star ads and most of the ads are insta-killable. So she can help play a very nice role if for some reason your Yuki can't kill with 1 or 2 hits on a certain ad. And yeah, now let's go ahead and talk about the alternatives for this team, Ikaze. Okay fellas, so for the alternatives, for your strategist, you can run something like a Tempest. Wind Tempest is basically just worse Minami, right? Can crit rate buff, can crit damage buff, right? She's decent. The only problem is she doesn't have that flexibility where Minami can just use something like Attack Medic with her item shop and give you like a bonus heal. So this character is decent if you don't have BF Minami. Now, as for your Guardian roles, you can bring something like a Cherish if you have Cherish, who is also better than A0, R0 Guardian Twins, which I'll be using in today's guide since I don't have Cherish, because he's been dodging me left and right. But if you do have A1 Twins is the superior guardian in this fight. And if you don't have Cherish or Twins, then I guess you can bring something like a Minami, or you can do like Soy. Soy can help you cap out on defense shreds with Gun and S2 as well, with Departure and Control in his set as well. As for our Navigator, yeah, you need Miku, man. The best thing about Miku for me is mine's is A0R0, so if you are A0, well, congrats. You know, this guide is pretty friendly for the A0 specialists. If you don't have Miku, I guess you can try Anj. But I'm going to be real, it's going to be bald as heck with Anj. Because with Miku, you get those extra 2 turns of breathing space. But with Anj, you're just going to have to, like, Prage. Like, every other turn that you have shields up or a heal up to survive. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and show you the fight. Ikaze. Oh, and I forgot something. If you don't have Makoto Yuki, I guess your second best option is to do, like, Sumi. Or maybe Frostgale. Frostgale Sumi can maybe work, not too sure. Haven't tried. But if you do run Sumi, right, make sure to run her best in slot with, like, Cord, right? And then just have, like, Guardian Twins or Cherish alongside them. Or, like, you can do something like a Tempest with, let's say, Frostgale, with Guardian, whatever Guardian you're bringing, with Miku, and those are some pretty good alternative, like, main DPS comps. And now, without further ado, let's get straight into the run. Ikaze. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the battle guide here. So with this first phase, the main thing is, you won't be able to kill all of the stars. You're only going to be able to kill one, but after all the stars, like, explode itself, because the whole mechanic for the first phase is he will have stars after a couple of 2 turns will kill itself, and your goal is to kill those stars, like all of them, before they explode. But since we're only running a single target DPS here, like aka Makoto Yuki, you'll only be able to kill one in, like, your natural 2-turn rotation. But don't worry, once you kill one of the stars and then they all start exploding, you'll manage to go into phase 2, because the requirement set in the phase 2 is for all the stars to just, like, you know, explode themselves. So all you have to do here is just make sure you do your normal rotation with Twins. You know, make sure you start off with the Pierce skill. You know, if you're A0, 1, 2, 3. Yuki, you do his 1, 3. If you get his Theurgy, I recommend you only use Cadenza, because that will make his skill 3 just that much stronger, right? Migu, you're going to shift around your skills, whatever you need. Like, if you need crit damage, right? Mainly you do, like, play with fire S1. If you need the extra heals, then you could save, like, Heaven S2, like what I do here. So, like, right here, instead of using, like, Heaven skill 1 here, I just, like, change albums, right? And I, like, use, you know, play with fire S1, so that I can have Heaven, you know, S2 heal with the damage amp for, like, another turn where, like, I need it. So right there, see, I use Cadenza. And I mean, you could use the fire Theurgy, but I'm gonna be real, from what I tested, you do Cadenza and you do S3, it just does more damage, and it gets guaranteed kills a lot easier that way. So right there, we killed 1 star, right? Which is the goal of phase 1. Just kill 1 star, and you'll survive phase 1, right? With all, like, the stars exploding on you. And here, you want to pray that the stars don't, like, auto-focus Yuki, because if they do, well, GG's, restart the run. Okay, so see here, since I saved Heaven, right? We're going to use Heaven S2 here to heal and amp up our damage, essentially. And now the goal here is just to start proccing shields, right? I'm A0 Twins here, so I get to proc S3, Seisai no Jikanda here. And then if you have to, you can use Minami's item and use, like, Tac Medic or, like, you know, Damage Valve or whatever it's called to, like, heal up Yuki. Because everyone else on the team has pretty good HP except Yuki. Yuki is like he's like a noodle when it comes to HP. If he gets touched, he just dies. Right? And here I set up his Moonface stack so I could just get you know, all, like big boy Scarlet Hades start of next phase, right? And now you just pray that the stars don't target Yuki again. If they do, well, you're screwed. Okay? So just pray. Here I get targeted once. If you get targeted once, it's okay. But if you get targeted twice here, Yuki's gonna lose all his shields from, like, you know, Wonder and like my twins there. And he's gonna die. Because, like, you know, Mr. Shark here does a lot of damage. I mean, see? Lucky dodge. If I hadn't dodged that, Yuki would have had like 200 HP left. Alright, so there you go. Now we're in phase 2 since all of the stars are dead. Shh. Okay? So here, I'm going to go ahead and reactivate Miyugu's rotation. So what S2 and Spring Storm does is it's like a weakness damage amp and personal damage amp. So your goal here is just to kill the side ads, okay? You want to kill the side ads. You don't want to enter Showstopper. You want to save Showstopper till phase 3, which is the final phase, okay? And you should have enough sustain with Twins S3, you know, Minami's shop and like Sandalphon to not have to Showstopper here. So see there, see how like you get the heals whenever Minami, you know, uses an item on you. Take advantage of that. If you have to tack Medic 5, then tack Medic 5. Don't prioritize your own HP before doing damage, is what I'm trying to say. Right? And for highlight priorities, obviously, Minami's highlight's really good. If you get Cadenza with Makoto's Theurgy, then use it. Wonder's Alice highlight's pretty good too for landing, like, you know, an AOE like damage effect taken. So see right there, since I had like all Moonface stacks, I just ripped S3 at the start of phase 2 and it got me the kill. Right? So that's one way you can cheese phase 2 at the start. And then you won't die from this, but I will warn you, he will start doing some BS mechanics. But we'll get to that once we get to that. Alright. Miyu, just do her rotations, whatever you need. You need to cap out on your Pierce, do Heaven S1. You need crit damage, play with Fire S1, or weakness damage, you know, Spring Storm S2. Just do what you gotta do. As long as you get 3 tracks entering into phase 3. Okay. Alright, so this turn is where the boss will start taunting Yuki. What that will do is that will increase the damage that Yuki will take. So when he does that, he'll do like a weird like single target attack where he crawls underneath like the surface, and then he'll do like a big ginormous attack. That's when you want to use your shields and like your Sandalphons. So right there I got Makoto's Theurgy. Right? Just use Cadenza. That's all you should use, man. Like the Fire Theurgy just sucks. It really just sucks, man. It's only good for guild bossing and whatnot. Okay? So without Yuki getting taunted here, you know, he won't take a lot of damage compared to now. See how he's getting taunted now? So whenever the boss taunts like that, the first time, he will automatically do the dive into the ground attack. But he won't do that, like, every turn that Yuki's taunted for. Only the turn where he, like, you know, places the taunt on Yuki is when he's going to do that underground digging move. Whatever the heck it's called, man. Okay? So make sure if he does that, you start proccing your shields here. So right here, since I have both Twins Mask, I should have access to S3. That's going to proc like a big old shield. Right? Minami's got her item here. Right? We're going to use it. We're going to fight herself. You can take risks. If you have a lot of like shields procced, then you wouldn't have to guard here with Yuki. If for some reason you don't manage to get the shields in time here, then just guard. And just use Sandalphon S1 and pray that you live. Or like dodge. But the goal here is pretty much align your shields whenever he starts taunting, right, on like the first taunt, so that Yuki doesn't die. Right. So I'm not too sure what I do here. Okay, so yeah, I do Sandalphon highlight, right? Make sure you take advantage of Sandalphon highlight. You know, it'll keep you alive. And then I didn't talk about this, but for like Wonder like buffs and debuffs, Zhao Gongen S1 and Rakunda are going to be your main debuffs for this fight, pretty much. You can use something like Rebellion here if you aren't capped out on crit rates. But since my Yuki has like just, what, 30-something% CR, 40% naturally, Minami gets him to like 80, like really easily. And see that? Like, he does, like, the underground move. You just want to have those shields up. And then now that Yuki's taunted, he'll still take more damage than usual, but he won't die as long as he has, like, full HP without shields. So you should be fine. And once the ads are gone, by the way, once you kill both of them, the boss will no longer have the damage reduction mechanic he has. Right? You can do, like, your normal rotations now, do good PP damage, as I like to say it, big PP damage. So now I'm starting to set my buffs and debuffs for the fight. But Yuki's gonna gain his moon phase stacks. So he won't respawn the ads, by the way, y'all. You don't have to worry about that. You know, you'll be fine. Like, he won't spawn, like, those ads again. So you just go to town on Mr. Shark here. Okay? And again, before I stop talking to y'all, if he reapplies the taunt, I'm just gonna remind y'all to just use your shields, use your twins S3 to proc shield if you're guardian twins, use your Sando font highlight, Sando font signature, guard. Do what you gotta do whenever he, you know, just places the taunt or replaces it, okay? Alrighty, y'all. I'll see y'all once we get into phase 3. Alright, and a little bit of cheese that I want to give y'all some info on. So if, you know, Mr. Shark here is like super low HP, let's say 300k, 400k, 500k, you can just like stall with like Makoto S1 and get the kill with Makoto S1. So once you enter into phase 3, you can have access to all his like moon phase stacks, and then you'll get his theurgy, right? You proc cadenza, you get, you know, full moon and full moon phase, and you get like a free like big PP damage dealing like Yuki S3 as soon as you enter into phase 3. Okay, I'll see y'all in phase 3. Okay, fellas, welcome to Phase 3. So guess what we're gonna do now? Yes, you got it. We're gonna proc Showstopper now. And the thing about Showstopper, if you're curious how many of those you proc in this fight, 2. Maximum of 2 if you're following my guide. So since now that we have Showstopper, it'll heal us up, give us extra 2 turns to breathe, deal some nice damage, right? Your buffs will last longer throughout the whole of the fight now. So right there, you just cadenza, and if you followed my guide and you have 4 Moonface stacks, well, you'll basically get a free kill here, right? If your Yuki is strong enough. So now I'm just not caring about living at all. We're just, setting up our buffs, debuffs, buffing with Manami, buffing up Yuki's damage, his crit damage. Wonder's gonna Zao Gongen, Rakunda, and you'll do a lot more damage. Like, in Showstopper here, you should at least kill 2 of the ads. Target the ones that aren't the stars, by the way. So, like, the inner left and the inner right mobs. So right there, I get the free S3 as soon as Phase 3 starts. Now, the cool trick here is, y'all remember I said how Alice works in this fight, how the ads are insta-killable, yes? Well, we're going to be using that tech in a minute, right? You'll see. So just keep playing normally, setting up your buffs, debuffs, and once we get to Wonder turn, you'll understand, right? And highlights last a lot longer in phase of Showstopper, so you're gonna kill these ads very easily. Okay, so watch this, y'all. So first, I'm gonna debuff all these enemies with Alice highlight. Alice highlight pretty underrated, and then you'll just die for me here. Okay, watch. Come on, past me. Okay, I think I do it next turn, but yeah, y'all get my point. You'll see the tech, man. You'll see the tech. And then just, keep setting up your Moonface stacks, and then once you get 4, you do big PP damage. Alright, you know the drill. As for Miku herself in this phase, you'll be fine. Like, you'll get Showstopper back eventually. Just, keep playing around for skills. Get all 3 of her tracks. You need to cap out on Pierce, Heaven S1. You need weakness damage, right? Spring Storm S2, crit damage, Play of Fire S1. You know the drill. You know the drill. Okay, so this is where the funny happens, y'all. This is gonna be insane. Okay. All right, get ready. All right, after Manami buffs up Yuki here, you're gonna see what I mean. Okay. Alice will save you a turn from having to target ads with Yuki. Like, I legit mean it. Okay, we're gonna die for me here. Alright, that ad over there has like 50% HP. Boom! He's dead. Isn't that crazy, y'all? What a crazy tech, man. They let these ads be insta-killable at certain HP thresholds. That's nice. And then with that, you get a free Yuki turn to slaughter another ad. Okay, so you would cadenza there. Alright. Big Scarlet Hades S3. Okay, fellas, so this turn is where all of the stars will start timing down their explosions. But don't worry, this should be pretty natural to you now if you're used to phase 1. So obviously make sure you kill both the inner ads first, right? And then if you can, make it to the point where you can use like chip damage to kill that ad on the inner left, instead of having to use Yuki's, S3 Scarlet Hades with like full stacks. If you can, right? So right here, we're just trying to chip down like that inner left ad. And then right after that, if you follow my guide correctly, you can potentially kill another star because you have 2 turns until like they act. So see there, I just use Alice to insta-kill, and now Yuki can start targeting one of those 2 stars. So as long as you have 1 star and Mr. Shark on the field, you should live with, you know, a couple of shields. So you'll be fine. Like they don't start exploding now. And see right there, he does the taunt. You want to make sure that this turn right here is where you have Sandalphon highlight on hand, Twins S3, basically your big defending moves. Okay. And then with Miku, if you know, hoarded, for some reason hoarded like Heaven S2, then use that to heal yourself up if you can. If you can't, like, heal with Twins. So in this case, I do get the chance to heal. So I'm just gonna heal up. If you're A1 here, you'll automatically get like the Twins, you know, S3 and their shield like right here. But you know, since I'm A0, it's a little, you know, a little scuffed, but you can do fine. Okay, now you start shielding Yuki up. All right, if you can, he will kill this, you know, star on the far right, and you would have less aggression on you by the time next turn hits. So there you go, big PP damage with Yuki. And since we had Sandalphon highlight there with, you know, Devoted Guard, our shield is basically maxed out. And he'll do like no damage with you, even with like the big ground attack move. Okay. And this star right here is going to explode. So boom, there you go. The boss no longer has damage reduction. So guess what, y'all? You know what time it is. Go ham. Unload your load, man. All right. This is where this fight becomes giga free. Now, obviously, before I stop talking, y'all, make sure if he taunts you or he replaces the taunt, you know, you have your shields on hand, you guard, you defend, right? You do all your guardian shenanigans so that Yuki can live. And okay, y'all. Hopefully you get through this, you know, final bit of the fight easily. And I'll talk to y'all at the end of this fight. Good luck. Okay, I lied. So you can use something like a Minami, you know, store with like Tac Medic as well if you're like desperate on heals. Like, you don't want Yuki in a situation where he's below 100% HP if he's taunted. Like, if the shark doesn't do the like taunt attack, then you should be fine with like max HP. But if you're below like 70 or 80, right, with the taunt, then he can still kill you. So beware of that, y'all. Okay, I'll stop yapping. Good luck on the rest of the fight, and I'll see y'all at the very end.
行くぞジュスティーヌ。すぐに排除します。軽いや。頑張りどころだよ。ペルソナデュオ。ハイライト見せつけよう。ペルソナサンダルフォン。待てよ。アリス。やめよう。すべてを奪い返す。ペルソナザオー権現。サンダルフォン。これでどうだ。支援する。はこれなら。どうした。気がダウンしたよ。いい調子。行くよ。
It's time. Guess what? We got Showstopper back. Yes, sir. Like I said, y'all, you'll get your 2 Showstoppers, right? As soon as you enter into Phase 3 and you pop Showstopper, you'll get it back on turn 100 or action 100. So now you can just go ham. Like, this boss is free now. Like, it's, you know, GG's, shake my hand. You know, it was nice knowing you, Mr. Shark. I legit took 70 runs, man. 70 runs to get this clear for y'all. So hopefully my efforts paid off and y'all also get the clear too, because this fight can be pretty bald. And it took a lot of RNG. It took a lot of like hard, dedicated like hours of just malding to get the run. So hopefully you guys have an easier time than me, because my god, these stars loved targeting Yuki. Not fun, y'all. But okay. Enjoy the rest of the run, and I'll talk to y'all once we get to the outro. Alrighty, and there we go, fellas. The final Yuki S3 to end all S3s. GG's, fellas. GG's. Okay, fellas. Thank you so much for watching this level 30 boss guide. Hopefully it wasn't too awful of a mauled, but if you did get the clear, well, congratulations. You definitely earned it. Because this boss is not easy, man. Even I had to, like, sweat my, like, hair off. Like, 60-something runs of just dying back and forth and, you know, finally got this clear. So, yeah, congrats, y'all, if you got the clear. And if you do have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll get to you as fast as I can. And if you really enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, y'all. And I do want to make that dream a reality until the end of this year. So let's get to that milestone, y'all. And do look forward to more future guides, more video essays. I have a lot of stuff cooking in my brain for 5X content. I love just making videos about this game in general. And until the next one, y'all, deuces.